Espeon is one of my favourite Pokemon to play in Unite, but it is also a very strong attacker that you should be using inside of your games. But how do you use it? Well, today I'll be going through its moves, builds, items and emblems, along with some extra tips at the end. As always, if you would like to see your main covered in this series, comment below or join my Discord server and let me know, and I will add it to the next poll in the community tab. Also, if you have any other video recommendations, let me know and I'll make a video about it. Before I get into Espeon's moves, I will cover its abilities. Anticipation negates the first instance of hindrance, and Magic Bounce will do the same except do a little bit of damage and a 30% slow to the target that is hit by the move. For auto attacks, Eevee has every third move boosted, and Espeon gets a beam that is used after a short time has passed that does high damage and slows the target by 30% for 1 second. Now onto the moves, which Eevee starts with Swift, firing 3 stars in the targeted area that will travel until they reach their maximum range. If an enemy is hit by a star, all other stars will do 70% less damage. The other starting move is Growl, locking onto a target and doing damage while decreasing their movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. Now the moves that you would select yourself, starting off with Psyshock. It acts similarly to Swift but with a few extra features. More damage along with a stun upon hitting your target. Along with this, if you land a kill with Future Sight, you'll be given a boosted version of this move for a short time, and it will also have an extra explosion upon converging with itself. Stored Power is the next move, storing power over time, and when it is released, sending projectiles that lock onto nearby targets. This also boosts Espeon's move speed, and the boosted version, after taking a kill with Future Sight, has more possible stacks and heals Espeon for every target hit. The next moves at level 6 include Psybeam, a beam that does damage and splits to hit other nearby targets, and Future Sight, which locks onto the enemy and does damage 2 seconds later. Espeon's other moves will target the locked on player where possible. All of Espeon's moves will lower the cooldown of Future Sight, and of course, landing a kill will boost the other 2 moves that Espeon has. Before covering the Unite move, these are the bonus effects of the other moves in Espeon's moveset. Psyshock will increase the movement speed of the projectile. Stored Power does more damage to targets under half HP. Psybeam now does bonus damage to stunned Pokemon, therefore synergizing very well with Psyshock, and it also causes the Pokemon targeted by the split beams to then get stunned. And Future Sight makes Espeon deal 10% more damage to the locked on target. Now finally, the Unite move. Psychic Solaire. Espeon leaves all Pokemon in the radius unable to act before throwing them out and doing high damage. For your builds, you can run a combination of any move, so there's nothing individually that I can say besides that Psyshock and Psybeam is my favourite to run. Now moving on to the items that Espeon should be running. Silk Spoon is a must, along with Drive Lens and Wise Glasses. You can also run a Choice Specs or an Energy Amp, but I would recommend that if you play in Ranked to use a Curse Incense when you see someone on the enemy team that has heals, such as a Blissey, an Alcremie, an Eldegoss or a Goodra. For emblems, the best one is actually quite unique this time. While you can still run 6 green and 6 white, the better option would actually be to run 6 green and 7 black to make the most of the shortened cooldowns. Before I get into the tips, I'd like to ask that you consider subscribing to this channel. I'm close to 1,000 subs, and at 1,000 I'll be ranking every Unite move in the game. So I hope you look forward to that. Now, finally, moving on to the tips to make sure that you are the best Espeon player that you can be. Starting off with making sure that if you run eject button, that you use it to quickly dash before you use your Unite move. This can catch a lot of people off guard and help your team to secure a lot of kills, especially on the Pokemon that can run away fast, like a Rapidash for example. The second tip is a lot more general, and that is to remember that if you use Psybeam and Psyshock, that if you need damage fast, like on a Reggie, you can use Psybeam then Psyshock because it comes out a lot faster than if you use them the other way around. The third thing that you can remember to use in your games is to use store power to get a quick reposition. What I mean by this is because you get a short speed boost, you can position yourself to easily finish off an opponent, or more likely use it to escape and stay further away from your opponent. Because of course Espeon is so frail, you need to make sure to remember to stay behind your allies so that you can't easily get taken out. Last but not least, you need to remember to stay ahead of the enemies in levels. If you're starting to drop back, be patient and make sure that you can come back with some extra farm to be equal or higher level than the enemy team. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, I have many others like it on screen for you now, such as one of the evolutions that I've already done, Leafeon.